So hey guys, as you can see, I just barely logged in, and today's a new video. Really, I have quite a bit to talk about. I'm gonna actually have to do Q&A for both yesterday and today, so I mean that's gonna be interesting. And yeah, check this out. I actually got to stage 68 yesterday, with my new Ninja World War team. Part of it, I do suppose it's luck. Part of it's like the formation that I use. Part of it's Sasuke and such that I basically doubled his damage output from before. But yeah, so stage 68, and as you can see, I got 776 gold, nearly basically 0.4 billion or 415 million. Yeah, so I mean, that's quite a lot actually. A lot more than what you would actually get at stage 60 and such. So the rewards definitely go up as you get stronger. So I mean, yeah, it's fairly cool. Today should have been the day that you got the reward for this thing right over here. As you can see here, the recharge. Where is it? Recharge event notice on May 1 that you should have gotten your 501 gold today. I got mine, and as you can see, I'm at 1,644 gold. I'm not actually going to be consuming anymore after, other than what I've already consumed. The reason I consumed so much, up to 800 gold, is mostly because of the fact that I really wanted to go ahead and upgrade Sasuke's Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan up. Other than that, there's no real reason for me to do it, because I just don't particularly need to upgrade anything really. So yeah, part of the reason my Ninja World War got so much stronger is because of the Kaguya items. As you can see here, the Shin Uchiha armor. So my Sasuke has 1.1 million worth of ninjutsu attack. Jiraiya has 934k ninjutsu attack. Naruto 1 million ninjutsu attack. Only what's his name? Uh, Itachi has a rather low amount, which is 353k ninjutsu attack and 348k genjutsu attack. But then again, he's mostly there for sealing. He's not really there. I mean, for stunning. He's not there to actually do DPS. Then I have Orochimaru with 389k ninjutsu attack and 831k genjutsu attack. So I mean, my Orochimaru is really doing some DPS when it comes to what do you call it? When it comes to what's it called? When it comes to genjutsu damage. Sorry, I just kind of had to spit it out basically. But yeah, Orochimaru is really cool right about now. I really have to thank my Sasuke. The reason I actually have Haku and Zabuza combination card inside this is because I was glancing over the comments because I do get notifications whenever I get a comment on my videos. And I noticed one of you told me, "Oh, Luis, you should put Haku and uh, put the uh, put the secret technique demonic mirroring ice crystals." I actually did that in the last video. I actually explained that. So thanks for the advice, but I kind of already knew that either way. But I thank you. Just in case I did miss it, I do appreciate you mentioning it. But yeah, so the reason I have this equipped, as the person who commented so nicely mentioned, is because of the fact that what this skill does, it gives you 150k, 150% of your ninjutsu attack bonus. So it basically gives you a buff. It's not particularly useful, quite honestly, if you don't have Orochimaru. Your best bet when using that buff is to have Haku and Zabuza's active skill right off the bat go off, which is the secret technique, Thousand Flying Water Needles of Death. That's if you don't have Orochimaru. It's just best to have this technique equipped and have it go right after you release your unique skill. But if you do have Orochimaru like I do, you can have Orochimaru go after these guys go. And what that will do is make it so basically Orochimaru does um not sorry, I got confused for a second. Makes it so Orochimaru overclocks Zabuza and Haku. I can actually show you an example. I'm actually fairly sure I did an example of it last video, but I could completely and utterly be wrong. So my example for this would actually be, as you can see, Haku and Zabuza have a total of 837k ninjutsu attack. It's mostly really that I equipped a lot of the ninjutsu based attack items on my cards, those cards being Zabuza and Haku, as you can see here. Haku has a 731 ninjutsu attack bonus, while Zabuza has a measly um, 556k ninjutsu attack bonus. Obviously, the combination card has a higher ninjutsu attack bonus, so that's good. I actually noticed quite a few people saying that no, it deals taijutsu damage to all enemies. It says deal bonus taijutsu damage to all enemies. That's implying that the taijutsu damage is not the actual key damage, I suppose I could put it. But I mean, either way, it deals a nice amount of damage. I'm gonna go ahead and show you here. So as most of you know, if you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, the pig without hands is really my guinea pig. Quite ironically enough, when it comes to this sort of thing, um, because of the fact that you really need to one-hit KO Sakura, and she has a very high amount of HP. So much so, in fact, that it's very hard to even just kill her, even if you have a Naruto. If he doesn't have his Shadow Clone passive, I really do doubt that even with strongest father and son Naruto, you're actually gonna have the ability to take down Sakura. So I mean, it's just one of those things that's previously mentioned. As you can see, the more that Orochimaru puts a red curse heal mark on Haku and Zabuza after they get the 150% ninjutsu attack bonus, the more damage they actually seem to be doing. A while back, they were doing criticals, and if you were perceptive enough, you could have noticed that they nearly killed Sakura. Now they're doing normal damage, and they're quite nearly killing Sakura. If they do a critical damage, as they just did, they one-hit KO Sakura. Now, the reason I'm doing that with Sakura is really because of the fact that she heals. There's no real way to kill her unless you stun her and slowly chip away at her health, or you kill her right off the bat, as in a one-hit KO, which very few cards are actually able to do naturally. So I usually rely on Orochimaru to see whether or not they can overclock. And as you can see here, if I just move Haku and Zabuza to the right of Orochimaru, which means that Orochimaru will go first, they're not going to overclock. It's a curious thing, but I have my theories on that. And I do suppose that what it means is just that um, you need the bonus to be put on the card before Orochimaru applies his own bonus. So it's kind of like how I figure it works. If you have the bonus of, say, 15%, because that's actually one of the most common bonuses you can get when it comes to those bonuses, especially for a whole team. If you have a Hashirama Senju, you can obviously do that. But the reason that I do think that they can overclock is because of the fact that that bonus kind of resets the whole equation for your damage. And when you take into consideration what the curse heal does, it just doubles that. But because of that percentage bonus that keeps on adding over and over and over again every time the unique skill is released, Haku Haku's ninjutsu damage and Zabuza's ninjutsu damage, the combination card, quite literally skyrockets because of the amount of damage they can do because of that percentage bonus. That percentage bonus makes it so the Orochimaru Curcio stacks and stacks and stacks until at the end of the day you have an insanely powerful card. Now, if Orochimaru's Curcio bonus is applied before the percentage bonus on the card that you're trying to overclock, then unfortunately the card that you're trying to overclock will not overclock. But if the card that you're trying to overclock gets the bonus, the percentage bonus before the bonus of the red Curcio of Orochimaru, then that will make it so the card starts to overclock. As you just saw, we just had 30 rounds, and Haku and Zabuza did basically a minimal amount of damage. Now, once again, if I move Haku and Zabuza to Orochimaru's left, which means that they get to apply their own personal bonus right off the bat before Orochimaru casts in his own bonus of the Red Curse Seal, you have Zaku and Zabuza overclocking because of the fact that, like I said, you have you have the bonuses being overridden and overstacked and so on and so forth. Now, some people were confused when I said overstacked. That's really just me using terminology to try to explain something. I'm not quite sure how it works. It's not so much as the fact that I want to say it wrong or that there is a certain way to say it. It's just that to me this is all fairly new, so I usually kind of come up with terms on the fly. For example, Overclock, that was really just because I used to play a game called Match Quest, and there was this one item that I remember specifically that every time it was used, it got stronger by 15%, by 20%, and so on and so forth because it was overclocked. That's what the item was called, so I thought, okay, that kind of relates to me, so I thought, why don't I call it overclocking? That's why I started calling overclocking overclocking. So I mean, if you don't understand some of my terms, that's perfectly understandable. Sometimes I don't understand some of my terms, and there you go. Haku and Zabuza one hit KO Sakura. So yeah, that's just kind of to a very brief and short guide on overclocking and its general not equations, but its general workings. You have to have an Orochimaru Red Curse Seal be applied after your own personal bonus percentage buff. Now, it doesn't particularly work with buffs that are not percentage. I've actually tested this quite intensively on like with Madara Uchiha and such. And yeah, that doesn't really apply. It applies if it's percentage, but once again, if it's not percentage buff, then it really won't apply. Cards who can do this really are Tsunade because of her Unrivaled Strength passive. What it does, it gives you a percentage bonus of 20% ninjutsu attack per Unrivaled Strength icon you get on your card, which is up to a maximum of 3, I believe. You also have the second Hokage's Shadow Clones. Naruto's own Shadow Clones, but Naruto is not able to do it simply because the buffs have to be reapplied continuously. They can't just be applied once and hope and pray that it works for the rest of the battle. No, they have to be reapplied continuously, so that actually takes off Naruto off of that list. But in that spirit, you can actually put in Hashirama Senju because of the fact that his Hobi technique reapplies every 5 turns, and it gives the entire team a 15% bonus. Now, at this point, it's what's really important here. It's that it's the bonus. It's not so much as the percentage buff, how much percent, if it's 150% or it's 2%. It's really the percentage bonus. If it's a percentage bonus, then that means that can be taken advantage of and turned into overclock bonus, which is what I call overclock, which means which is what I call when the card quite literally becomes a lot more powerful than it really has any right to be. Um, Hashirama, if he ever gets his secondary passive, which it's probably gonna happen, but maybe some time away from now. Hashirama with his secondary passive would be an absolute monster simply because of that. Because he would continuously reapply his percentage buffs, he would continuously get stronger with the Hobi technique, and his if he can manage to overclock, he'll get stronger and stronger until the end of the battle. The reason that the second Hokage is so devastating in the Ninja World War is because of the fact that the second Hokage applies so many buffs on himself that at the end of the day, he quite literally ends up dealing multiple billions worth of damage simply because he is allowed to overclock a lot sooner and a lot faster than the other cards. That's really why you want a Diamond Tobirama, if nothing else, than because he will actually get you very, very far. Now, obviously, there are certain ways to do this, and there are certain techniques to do this, and I actually did make a previous video on the Ultimate Ninja World War and how to get it, but it's a little ways back, and I actually used Obito's account for it. So, I mean, if you're interested in that, you can check that out, but I'm not really going to mention it more in this video. Now, apart from that, I don't really have a topic. I kind of just have been, how shall I put this? I've been winging it, going off the cuff, I suppose you can call it. Um, yeah, because like I didn't particularly have anything planned. I started talking about overclock because overclock's very important. There's obviously been a lot more questions about it. Now that the Orochimaru event just passed, which is Orochimaru is one of the crucial items that you need for the strategy to work and such. But apart from that, I don't really think that are really any other things I can address. Now I will be like looking through YouTube and checking out the comments and answering questions where I can, and such and so forth. So let's start off with the Orochimaru showcase. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to do like 3 videos. Um, Hopefully you guys can't hear that. I actually have my media on my Bluetooth headset, so you probably can't hear that. But if you can, I'm sorry. I just lowered it right now, but just in case. So let's go to the comments. Thanks, Luis and Colton on the scroll info. You're welcome, Isarith. Uh, Eric Zyga. Sorry, I didn't mean ref material. I was trying to say was refinement bags. Yeah, refinement bags are actually quite easy to get. You just need recharge coupons. I know that's usually generally a frowned upon thing to recharge or whatever, but you can actually get some for free. Just get some rewards. The daily reward you're gonna get 5, and you can trade them in for not recharge, but refinement bags, and you can trade them in. For that, you just need 1 coupon per refinement bag. You just go to the gift pack and you go scroll to the left, once more to the left, and you have the refinement bag right there. And you can buy as many as you want, or at least as many recharge coupons as you have to exchange for them. Whew. Let's see what else. How do you get the passive skill for cards? I'm looking for a good Sasuke passive skill. Thank you. Usually during events, the really good ones are usually done throughout events. For example, Sasuke's level 90 passive is actually during his event and only his event, and you actually have to get through a very, very high consumption wall of 50k to get it, but it's very powerful, quite honestly. I haven't had a chance to use it simply because I don't have it. I didn't have enough gold to actually consume up to the 55k needed last event. I only got to 40k. I did get a lot of Sasuke items, but that passive would have been useful. Now, the passives that I actually recommend for you to put on Sasuke are actually 2. Obviously, his level 90 passive. If you can't do that, then that's perfectly fine. You can get the Lightning Release Shadow Clone. It's an old passive, quite honestly. I don't think you can get it in the shop. But you can actually probably get this during the Nobito or Kakashi event. Just be patient for that. And it's a very nice passive, as you can see. At level 103, it gives you 32k HP, 26k ninjutsu attack, 31k hit, and yeah, it's nice. And it also adds debuffs to your enemies randomly. It's not a very powerful debuff, but it is based on ninjutsu attack. So if you have somebody like Sasuke who gets more powerful with ninjutsu attack, those debuffs will get more powerful as the battle goes on. But yeah, there's that basically. There's also the Gate of Life. I know it's a very noobish, I suppose would be a way to put it, but not quite right. Um, it's a passive that quite a few cards have here. I'm gonna go at not have, but have the ability to equip. It should be right over here. Kotomatsukami. Performance of 100. Yin Yang Release. Nope. Nope. Unrivaled Strength. Beheading. Water Clone. Unrivaled Strength. Lightning Release. Slightly. Chakra Mode. Kotomatsukami. Could have sworn I equipped it to Minato. I'm fairly sure I equipped it to Minato. Gate of Healing, yeah, okay, see it's on Ichiraku. The Gate of Healing, it, at level 100, it gives you 63k damage, which is not a lot, obviously. But what it does give you 70k HP and 16k taijutsu defense. Obviously this skill isn't very good. That's because you can actually get it in the heroic dungeons. It's not meant to be good, it's meant to be a filler. Just enough to give you some bonuses. But apart from that, I can't really think of any skills that you can put passive at the very least on Sasuke, and I really wouldn't recommend putting any active skills on him, especially if you have him with Indara Zero, as I do. It will just interrupt Indira's arrow and generally make it so you deal less damage. If I could, I would actually say equip on Itachi's passives, but unfortunately, Itachi's passives, you do need the Crow bloodline, and Sasuke doesn't have that. Even though he does have the Mangekyo Sharingan Shisui. So as far as I can tell, there are only 3 real, or technically 4 real what do you call it, valid passives that you can put on Sasuke that are worth your time in any sort of way. Are the his level 90 passive from the event that just passed, which is the complete Susano. His not his, but the lightning release shadow clone passive, which is fairly good. The Gate of Life, which is not very good, but it's not bad either. It's something that helps, and Lightning Guard armor, which you can get from the heroic dungeon. It's in the same tier or the same ballpark as Gate of Life. It's not very good, but it's not bad either, and it does provide some bonuses as minimal as they are. So there's that when it comes to passives. Unfortunately, I can't really give you any more information because that's really all I can think of. Anybody on server 1 iOS needs friends. Go for it, Zedric. What skills should I use for Tsunade? I have or gold. Really, a lot of the cards such as Tsunade, Sakura, and such, I wouldn't recommend equipping passive active skills simply because of the fact that they are not particularly meant to be DPS. Now, my Tsunade can do DPS, but that's not because of her active skill. That's actually because of her passive skill and because of her items. Um, as far as items go, I would strongly recommend just to get the Slug Scroll if you can up to tier 4. It will immensely help out Tsunade, especially if you're able to overclock Tsunade. Um, but the Unrivaled Strength passive is very good once again because of the technique involving the overclocking. Because it, like I said, it does give you 20% ninjutsu attack bonus per icon that you get on Tsunade, so you can get up to 3, so that's a 60% ninjutsu attack bonus. But yeah, no active skills as far as I can recommend. But yeah, let's see. Is Orochimaru's secondary passive worth getting? I mean, the event's over, so I'm sorry I really didn't get to you on this one. I do apologize for that. Paul Jing Yu. But the thing is that I didn't particularly want or need his secondary passive. He does have a secondary passive, which is actually the triple Russian one. But what all it really does is makes him a little bit more tanky, and what that means is that he's able to outlast more damage. He takes less damage for certain things. The bonuses are nice, like such as the dodge and the HP, but they're honestly not critical or even required for Orochimaru. This is more of a extra thing. It's not particularly needed, but it is nice to have nonetheless. So no, it's not needed, but it is a recommended kind of yes. Okay, can you leave timestamps for Q&A and showcases? I could, but honestly, sometimes I forget, so I apologize for that. If I remember, cool. If I don't, I'm sorry. Luis Nieto, thank you again for accepting my line. No problem, Luis. I actually don't mind talking to you guys. I mean, all you do is ask questions. I don't particularly mind that. If I didn't want to help or answer your questions, I wouldn't be doing this, you know? So yeah, I just don't mind. I just answer the best as I can, and if you want, I'll even make some conversation with you. I'm not particularly picky. Although fair warning, I'm not a very good friend. I'm very forgetful and sometimes rather callous. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Um, Showcase for Shisui, I might actually do that. Right now, possibly after the Q&A, Toby. So don't worry. I actually do have all of his items and all of his skills. All I'm really missing for him is getting him diamond. No, that's not gonna be happening anytime soon because I'm really gonna concentrate on Sasuke getting Sasuke diamond and getting his items up to tier 4. So once again, that's not gonna happen anytime soon, but do keep an eye out for Sasuke diamond in the future. As for Shisui, I can do a gold Shisui showcase with all of his passives and items. So yeah, I could probably do that. Maddie Kettle, Matt. I'm just gonna call you Maddie. Sorry, but can I just point out that the decision of Sakura is another pain to get. Madara's was more fun to get. 3,500 stamina, and I only get 15 times drops. Horrible drop rates. horrid drop rates. Yeah, Maddie. Oh, I can completely understand you, man. When I first started this channel, like 3 months into it, I was working on getting gold Sakura. I invested so much gold into stamina to get her up to to gold. It took me such a long time, but I mean, she is worth it. She's a rather powerful card. Obviously, I have stronger cards now, but yeah, she's rather powerful either way. Izarith, I finally beat the Three Tails, took over an hour and many different ninja, including Sasuke and Yamato, but with the team Kirutsuchi, Bronze Kakashi, Hinata 75, Bronze Obito, Neji, and 100 Sakura 75, Illness Extraction Skill times 2, and about 100 tries. I got him. Four Tails took 2 hits from Kakashi and Obito and was done. Five Tails down to 40%, ran out of rounds, and PS, nice background lease. Uh, Thank you. Oh my god, I just took down the five tails on my sixth try. Yeah, you're actually gonna find that the three tails is actually a lot harder than the four tails and the five tails. The five tails, well, rather nitpicky, I suppose you could say, is not as bitchy as the five tails. I mean, excuse me, as the three tails. Because the Three Tails is really nitpicky in some ways. If you don't seal him constantly or you don't kill him nearly instantly, he has the nasty habit of healing himself over and over again, which can be rather frustrating, quite honestly. And so yeah, it's rather a priority to seal him rather than do DPS, especially as you're starting out and you're really relying on those seals to make sure he stays down when it comes to HP. So yeah, man, Izarith, congrats, dude. James, what's the best passes for Orochimaru? And I have Crucial and Triple Russian Mon. Is there anything else that I can use? That's good. Yeah, Carlo Diaz actually says it nicely. Russian Mars for D. Russian Mon is for defense, and Haze Clone will increase your Genjutsu attack. Now, the Haze Clone is mostly more of a offensive thing because of the Genjutsu attack bonus. Do keep in mind that it's not a very big bonus. It's something that's rather small, but it's rather useful nonetheless. I do believe if you upgrade it all the way up to it, what it's 100, it should be at the very least 10k or 12k worth of Genjutsu attack. Rather pitiful amount, but either way, a bonus is a bonus. And Upiox, awesome banner. Thank you very much. That's once again, this is thanks to Scott. So Scott, if you're watching this or listening to this, thank you, dude. I appreciate you. You're awesome. And thanks, guys. Smitten. Help, dude. I'm stuck on reincarnated Itachi. Help, please. Brian Monroe. How many Uchiha's nightmares for Sasuke's sword? So Smitten, I'll actually help you out tomorrow. I have a plan now that I think about it. Tomorrow, what I'm gonna be doing is taking my cards because I don't know if most of you know this, but quite a few of you should know this. I have a server 11 account actually. When this game first started out, I used to be king in both server 11 and server 12, but as the game got stronger and more money intensive, I had to choose between server 12 and server 11. Ultimately, as you know, right now I am king slash prince, I suppose, vying for the throne um with Obito in server 12, and that's awesome for me because it keeps me stimulated in the game. Is if you have a rival in the game with CP, it's awesome because it makes you play longer, makes you think, should I do this, should I do that, and such. So I mean, I'm very grateful for Obito for doing that sort of thing for me. But yeah, I used to have a server 11 account. It's still there. It has like 2 million worth of CP, and I actually got all the way to chapter 22, I believe. Before I stop playing in it, I'll get on it tomorrow and show you guys my strategies that I had for using basically the cards that I have there. They're all cards that you can obtain through grinding out and patience, so don't worry about that. And it really should help you out, Smitten, if you're curious for what do you call it, for techniques. Now, reincarnated Itachi. Now that I read this correctly, for a second I thought I only read Itachi, not just reincarnated Itachi. Um, yeah, he's a little difficult. So my biggest recommendation would actually be to have somebody who cannot be stunned, or barring that, finding a way to seal Itachi. Now, if you have Itachi with Inazami, Itachi's the best one to do this. But if you don't, I would actually recommend Orochimaru, I think. Because I'm fairly sure at this point Orochimaru cannot be sealed. I was testing it out a while back. Could have sworn he couldn't be sealed. I could be wrong though, so I mean, let's see. Oh, he can't be stunned. That's unfortunate. Who cannot be stunned actually? Cards who cannot be stunned. um, they are very far and few in between. Somebody like he can't be sealed, but he can't be stunned. Um, Shisui would be a very good card to go up against him, but he's very, very pricey. My recommendation would once again either have one card that can be stunned and does an incredible amount of DPS. That's really your best bet because of the fact that once again, Itachi can actually stun. Now that I think about it, if you can get Shisui, you only need a purple card Shisui. Quite honestly, for this strategy, um, that I recommend to you right here and right now. If you can get Shisui to go ahead and get the crow's left eye on Itachi, just have the crow's left eye on Itachi and have everybody else do DPS. So basically, have Itachi be confused and hopefully get the crow's left eye on Itachi. And once he does that, once you get the crow's left eye on Itachi, he'll be on your side until Naruto dies. And once Naruto dies, he'll turn on you. But until Naruto dies, he's gonna be on your side, attacking himself and Naruto, which you can use to your advantage. If you don't have Shisui, I would actually recommend somebody like the Animal Path. He's not quite as reliable as Shisui, but he still is able to confuse Itachi, and which would actually be quite useful. And here's why. So we're gonna go ahead and get the Animal Path if I have him. The human, the Naraka, the Animal Path. Here we go. Um, so the reason why it would be so useful to have what's his face, the Animal Path, confuse Itachi is because wait, change. Oh wait, that's not the Animal Path, is it? Okay, yeah, confuse for 2 rounds. So the reason that the confuse for the Animal Path is so useful, first of all, it's random, so I mean it's a little bit but luck based. But that's interesting. I should have confused Itachi for 2 rounds, not just one. So that's one. Okay, so apparently Itachi can only be confused for 1 round. This is really, really difficult. Um, um, have Tsunade in there with her, let's see. Slug Division, would that work? Shit, I forgot to put in the Curcio. Quickly go to the Animal Path and go ahead and rip off the Curcio. I know I said rip off, and yeah, no regrets. Um, that sounded so stupid. Let's see if it can protect from the. Shit, it can't seal. I mean, it can't unstun. I don't think it can stun everybody otherwise. Oh, I know who's useful. Gengetsu. He should actually be able to do that. Even without the Curcio. Yeah, I was right, okay. Yeah, he can't be sealed. He does Genjutsu damage. If you can get Gengetsu, shit, but you need the passive. Hmm. Yeah, see, a lot of these cards are very powerful, but you need the passive, and that's what really makes them, what do you call it? Um, that's what really makes them, unsealable, basically. As you can see here, this is just Gengetsu going ham on these two guys. I only have one equip on him, and that's his own personal equipment. So yeah, this is actually a really tough question. Um, Out DPS him, I suppose. Confuse him, stun him. Just try to do just about everything. Quite honestly. I know it sounds stupid, but that's all the advice I can reliably give you. Otherwise, I'd just be talking out of my ass. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry. Who was it? Smitten. But for those of you who are struggling with the lower chapters, I'll show you a team tomorrow that's lower level and was able to go up all the way up to chapter 18. No, not 18. All the way up to chapter 22. So, anyways, Brian Monroe. How many Uchiha's nightmares for Sasuke's sword? I can actually show you that fairly easily. I do have a Sasuke sword that I am not using currently or planning to upgrade to tier 4, but I can easily just upgrade it to tier 3 and show you what it takes to go to tier 4. As you can see, you need 60 Uchiha's Nightmares for Sasuke's sword. So there's that. It's a very good item, very useful for Sasuke. Um, Changes his normal attack randomly into a skill attack that does a lot of damage, and that skill attack also has the possibility to seal a passive from your enemy. So it's very useful. And we're gonna keep on going down. I need help beating Kazuni in the 19th dungeon. Help, please. I think you mean Danzo. Because I think I was reading. Yeah, okay. Isha Flower. I'm sorry if I say your names wrong, by the way. I'm just like horrible at this sometimes. Flower. Fowler. So. Danzo. Um, I'm sorry, Isha. If you don't mind, I'll really answer your question tomorrow. It's the best way I can do it. And with an actual team, if I could, I'd switch it down right now to my server 11. But if I log out of my server 12, I'm gonna have to input my info again, and that's just not gonna happen. Especially as I'm recording this. So yeah, I'm sorry. Um, First comment, but like the 11th view. It's okay, Maddie. You commented. Nice. Hey Lucy, I'm free to play player, and I was wondering which event to invest in. Also, how much gold do I need to get Sasuke Eternal Mangekyo? Thanks. I'm sorry, Relapse. I really kind of dropped the ball when it came to answering you. Um, but to answer your questions in order of importance, the best events that you can invest into are the Hashirama events. You truly only need a purple card Hashirama. So if you want to do the consumption for a purple card Hashirama, which mind you is usually anywhere from 30 to 50k worth of consumption to get the card, you're fine with just getting one purple card Hashirama. Obviously, it would be preferable if you have a diamond Hashirama, but a purple card Hashirama works perfectly fine for the overclocking method in the Ninja World War. Um, from apart from Hashirama, one event that would be very good to invest into would be a Sasuke Naruto event. They don't have to be mutually exclusive as long as it's Sasuke or Naruto. It's a very good event to invest into. Tsunade would be good. Orochimaru is another one. Jiraiya is a very good event to invest into. He's a very powerful card, believe it or not. There is a reason right now that he's in my Ninja World War team, and it's not because I just like him. He does a very decent amount of damage once he gets overclocked. And he has the ability to be overclocked without having to have a Hashirama, so that's always a bonus, especially if you're a newer player. Um, who else would be good? I'd say Tobirama, but the Tobirama is rather unrealistic to expect to get for free. You can do it, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm doubting you, or it's not even as though I'm saying you can't. It's just the fact that to do so would take a very long time and an extreme amount of patience. Basically what you would have to do is save up 210 Uzumaki clan keys per day of the event. Do all of the trials and then get all of that gold to get the Uzumaki clan keys for free. You have to save up all that gold manually, and to get, let's just do an estimate quickly here. Each Uzumaki clan key cost 80 gold. 80 gold times 210 tries. Keep in mind that it's per day, the max amount of tries that you can get, and you get 16k gold that you need to consume, plus make it, I mean, times basically. Say it's a 4-day Tobirama event and you need to get 62k worth of gold consumed in just keys, not to mention the stamina and the patience needed to get all of that gold. So I mean, Diamond Tobirama would be a good event to invest into, but just don't get your hopes up in getting him for free. If you're a god with like godlike patience, then go right ahead and take your time. But I would expect it would take more than a year to actually get Diamond Tobirama. So yeah. Sorry. Kind of sleepy. It's 3 in the morning. Um. And as for the Mangekyo Sharingan, the Eternal Mangekyo, yeah, Panda players set it perfectly. Cancel. I do not want to report Panda players. He's awesome. Panda players said it perfectly. You needed to have consumed 25k to get it to tier 4. Now, the reason it's so important to get it to tier 4 is because of the fact that, well, at tier 2, they're not very good items. Items are not good in general at tier 2. It's just the fact of the matter. It's how the game is set up at tier 2. It's basically level 2. It's not very good. Now at tier 3, they're decent, but they're not at their full potential. The problem being is from getting any item from tier 2 to tier 3, you usually need a special item for that. Such as, for example, for the Eternal Mangekyo, to refine it to tier 3, which is level 3. Officially, I call it tier 3. But to get it to tier 3, um, you actually need to have gotten the item called Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan, the only way to get that item is through consuming 25k gold, which is what Panda players mean. So you need it to get it to tier 4, which is where you get the best bonuses you can possibly get. And to get it to tier 4, you need to get it to tier 3. And to get it to from tier 3 to tier 4, you needed to have 50 Uchiha's Nightmares, which is basically 9,000 rare ore. And rare ore is very hard to come by, especially if you're lower level or a lower player, you know. So I mean, yeah, it's very hard to do so sometimes, but it is best to get tier 4. The bonuses are a lot nicer and such. Okay, I've decided on two cards I want to invest in, Naruto and Sasuke, but I can't decide which one. Naruto's gold, Sasuke's bronze, but I plan on getting him gold next. I just want to know which one I should invest mainly for the Ninja World War. Thanks, great vids, by the way. I watched all of both you posted recently. Thanks, Panda. Um, can I call you Panda? I'm gonna call you Panda. Sorry, Panda Players is a bit of a play on words for me, I suppose. I could say almost a tongue twister. So I mean, I try to avoid those because I end up slurring certain vowels or certain parts of the word that I don't want to slur. So yeah, so Panda, Naruto is very very good in the Ninja World War. Like stupidly good. Now it really depends on how Sasuke is set up. If you have Sasuke with an obscene amount of ninjutsu attack, Sasuke will in general out DPS Naruto. But the thing is that Sasuke needs time to build up. He is the sort who builds up gradually. Imagine it being the equivalent of let's see, what would be a good example that anyone can understand. Kind of like food. If you want to make something really really good, um, you take your time, you cook it slowly, and towards the end, you have a very good tasting food if you did everything right. Now, Naruto, to ironically enough, is basically the ramen equivalent of that. Um, Ramen is very quick, very tasteful, not exactly good, but not bad either. Now here's the thing. Naruto can deal a lot of damage very fast, especially if you have his Shadow Clone passive in combination with his strongest father and son unique skill. But the thing about Naruto is that unless you have a Hashirama and are able to clock Orochimaru with Orochimaru, um, make Orochimaru overclock Naruto, Naruto will never quite deal as much ninjutsu damage as Sasuke, especially if you have him at similar levels of ninjutsu attack. Now, Naruto is very strong right off the bat. He will come in guns blazing. He will deal anywhere from, for me at the very least, anywhere from 20 million worth of damage up until the 108 million worth of damage. So he can deal a lot of damage. Just really depends on how many Shadow Clones he releases. But Sasuke, he will start off with maybe 1 million worth of damage every time he releases his unique skill. But as the battle goes on and the battle comes to an end, he will, if I'm lucky enough, he will end up doing 1 billion worth of damage or even break the damage meter. So it's kind of hard to decide which one's better. But I suppose the best way I could put this is if you have a way to stun lock cards and you know you have the time to make it to round 30, go for Sasuke. That's your best bet. But if you're in the position where you cannot stun lock your cards and every turn you have to deal the most amount of damage that you possibly can as quickly as you can, then go for Naruto. That's really the best way I can put it. Naruto for if you don't have a stun lock, a reliable stun lock method, meaning that you can stun, seal, or stop the cards, all enemy cards from moving, um, while you charge up Sasuke. Um, if you can do that, then go with Sasuke because he'll do more damage in the long run. But if you can't do that, then go with Naruto because he will actually increase your damage output very quickly. And he doesn't need that much time to get stronger. He just quite literally needs 5 rounds and he's dealing a lot of damage. So yeah, and that's I'm sorry if I didn't quite explain it that well, but that's the best I can do it for now at the very least. Let's see. So yeah, that's about it, Panda. And thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it. Damn Fine 123, dude. Like your name is awesome. But anyways, Luis, do you think I should use the Ninetales Tailed Beast in battle, or should I seal it into my gold Naruto? Because I just beat 8 and Ninetales today. It was the guy who had everything except for the ring until today. From Luis's videos, I'd perfectly seal him into Naruto. Yeah, it just really makes Naruto more powerful. And quite honestly, the 8 Tails is more useful because he gives you a lot of critical bonus. And as you know, I don't know if you've noticed, but most of my cards do critical damage most of the time. And critical damage is twice the normal amount of damage. So I'd go with the 8 Tails and for your team and the 9 Tails for Naruto. And Joey Good, Haku and Zabuza combination came out, but you can't do curse seals, bloodlines, equipment, actives, passives, pill, recast, etc. Only upgrade skill. Do you think this card could be used in high tier teams? Um, yeah, definitely. I actually have a screenshot here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find it quickly. Um, gallery, and shoot, it looks like I deleted it. So let's see. We're gonna go to my Facebook. I was watching like this little comic strip. It's rather funny. Which reminds me, I need to share it so I can get it later. Let's see. Ninja community. Um, damn it, where is it? I posted up a screenshot on one of the posts. not here. Here we go. This is the screenshot that I posted. Um, I got Haku and Zabuza with all their exclusive items equipped to their respective cards, and I managed to get Haku and Zabuza up to 3.1 million worth of combat. So I mean, maybe not in my team, because the minimum threshold for my cards, for new cards to actually get into my team, my CP team, my max CP team, they have to have at the very least 3.7 million worth of CP. So it doesn't make it into my team. But I'm sure somebody else's team, it would definitely make it into high level or not. So I mean, yeah. Um, yes, finally a YouTuber who plays this game. Am I a YouTuber? Technically, I suppose. Never really thought of myself that way. But thanks Fire Red. Maddie Kiddo, it's midnight GBT and game just completely shut down. Won't even load up past 10% on iOS. What a surprise. Guess how many people will probably be waking up with a bit of compensation tomorrow. Yeah, there was a shutdown for like iOS. I don't know what happened. Maybe they found the glitch and they exploited the hell out of it. But yeah. Yeah, see, probably to fix a glitch, but the game has been spazzed out, gone balls deep into glitch mode, and shut down again. Balls deep. Nice. Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, Maddie, this is really just them going on about compensation and like stuff such as that. Yeah, cool. Nice conversation, guys. Adding to my previous comment, should I get the equips to increase my Sasuke CP in general right now, or should I make him stronger? Like I said, I'm only able to consume exactly 25k CP in the Indra Zero skin, and I have Bronze Orochimaru. I can consistently get to 25 in Ninja World War, and I have 6 million CP. Will Oro really get me that much further, and will Sasuke's strength increase be that significant to me? Um, Probably, yeah, Maxwell. I'm sorry that I really didn't have time to answer this, or I kind of really did drop the ball. Um, but yeah, it would have really made your Sasuke a lot stronger, especially if you can only get to Ninja World War. I'm gonna give you an example here very, very quickly. Um, Keep in mind that this is really subjective to your own Sasuke in some ways, but I can't make your Sasuke as strong as mine. That's just not gonna happen. But what I can do is affect how much ninjutsu attack can be given towards my Sasuke. So I'm gonna take off basically all of the items that are not Sasuke's items. So as you can see, he has 474k ninjutsu attack. Now that is quite a lot, I will admit, but keep in mind quite a bit of it comes from the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan tier 4, and quite a bit of it comes from the Sword of Kusanagi tier 4. So I mean, you can actually get those if you get Gold Sasuke, the Mangekyo, Eternal Mangekyo, if you consume, and the sword if you have Gold Sasuke. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this here. So once again, it's my guinea pigs being Sakura, and watch how much damage Sasuke does. Look at the amount of damage he's just dealing to Sakura. He's nearly killed her. He's not overclocked. He's not like, completely overpowered and such. Um, he is just literally dealing damage, and that's really all he's doing, and he killed her. Challenge again, the same results. And keep in mind, this is with only a little under half of my full extent of my Sasuke's power. So I mean, while it's possible your Sasuke is possibly not quite as strong as mine, he will definitely become stronger. Now, don't be fooled. The skin isn't the skill that I'm using. The skin skill that I'm using is actually in the Zero, which is what makes him so powerful. So I mean, would I have recommended getting that for Sasuke? Yeah, definitely, actually. But I realize that I didn't answer to you in time, so it's very understandable if you didn't. And I do apologize for that. I didn't realize that that would actually happen to some people. So I'm sorry if I failed you in that regard. really. But yeah, so if you're curious to see what Sasuke does with normal damage, um, here you go. Starts out a bit slow, I'll admit, but should be over by the sixth. Oh no, yeah, fifth round. There you go. 1.6 million, 3.3 million, 4.5 million, 9 million, 9 million, 2.7 million, 5.8 million, 15 million, 15 million. And then keep in mind that the debuff was going on in the background, so there's also that. And it's not like Sasuke can't do this, to everybody. He can quite easily do it to entire teams. 1 million, I think, though. 10 million, I think. Or, yeah. Oh, huh. And there you go. But, yeah. Sorry, once again, I do apologize for that. Hopefully it won't happen in the future. We're gonna keep on going down. Why does Curcio kill users sometimes? It's because of the Great Curcio. It's just really something that the Great Curcio does. It's a very, very small chance. Well, it's always been a very, very small chance for it to happen to me. But yeah, if you have a Great Curcio, it has a chance to instantly kill your card. So sometimes that happens, sometimes that doesn't. Yeah. Well, the Rock Lee way should be cheaper for the Tailed Beast. You just need the tier 4 ninja kneecaps, tier 4, and a little bit of Taijutsu damage, and it should be enough for a purple Rock Lee. Last form is enough. You're right, Riaz, but the problem is that while it is cheaper, um, Rock Lee is it's not even Rock Lee. Rock Lee is a grind no matter what. Same thing as Mike Guy. The problem with the kneecaps being is that the kneecaps usually cost 50k or so worth of consumption, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong and I could be exaggerating quite a bit, but the gold consumption is at the very least 30k for those kneecaps to tier 4, which is where they really shine and, come into play. But yeah, I suppose that you're right. With a supporting team with enough damage, you could have just Rock Lee do the damage for Taijutsu. Okay, so I have a bronze Sasuke. Can I have him go during this event? But yeah, sorry, Maxwell. You just reiterated that, and I'm sorry I didn't answer. Isha, I think you were clearing up what you were asking up earlier. Carlo Diaz, very nice video. Thank you very much, good sir. Luis Nieto, can you make a tutorial on how to beat the Six Tails, please? Alright, quick tutorial on the Six Tails, I suppose. Believe it or not, my 2 million account, 2 million CP account actually was able to beat the Six Tails. So I should give you an idea. So we're gonna go back to basics here, and we're gonna put in him and him in there. So the reason that these three guys are up in this bitch, I would recommend having a Naruto in there with the strongest father and son unique skill. But we're actually gonna have the second Hokage as a substitute, and we're gonna have Orochimaru as a substitute. Hopefully, I'm not putting too much damage up in this. But basically, the reason that you want the Mist Ninja in front is because most, if not all, of the Mist Ninja are actually immune to poison. Believe it or not. As you can see, the poison debuffs are non-existent on most. Let me reiterate that. On most, on moist, moist, on most Mist Ninja, they're immune to the poison. So as you can see here, these guys are basically immune to poison while he's dying from the poison. So yeah, just get a Haku and not a Haku, a Zabuza and a Kisame up in front. I would strongly recommend um, to have a healer. Somebody like Sakura, maybe Tsunade. Then I would also recommend to have somebody who does debuffs. As you can see, those are the second Hokage's debuffs. What else? A decent amount of dodge. Yeah, just stuff like that, really. Um, yeah. See. This would actually go a lot faster if the fourth Hokage were to, I mean, the second Hokage were to get a red curse seal of wrath. I was actually expecting the second Hokage to deal more damage, to be perfectly honest. Um, but it looks like he's not going to, which is not good at all. But yeah, just have some Mist Ninja up in front. Have as much DPS as you possibly can. Taijutsu is very useful against the bubbles, although do keep in mind that once they die, they will do a recoil damage for about 140k worth of HP. You can negate this by having a shield. You can negate this by having a skill shield. You can also negate this if you have the bubble silenced, just silenced in general. They will die quietly. They won't, rebound damage. Also, if you have the what do you call it? The weakening effect, I suppose you can call it. Um, weakening effect is basically where you have your enemy cards. They don't deal quite as much damage as they're supposed to because they're weakened, as the name implies. And when you weaken them, they only do like 30%, 15%, 85% of their normal damage, and that also affects the recoil damage of these things, of the bubbles. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, this is a really bad guide. Quite honestly, I'll get more into detail with it tomorrow. But this is really kind of just shits and gigs, I suppose. But yeah, it looks like, I mean, the fourth Hokage isn't doing any sort of impressive damage, but he's doing something, I suppose, which is better than nothing. The reason that Kisame and what's his name, um, Kisame and Zabuza have so many clones is because they both have the water clone passive. I mean, it's what it does here. It provides them with dodge, and that's about it. But yeah, I mean, as you just saw, the second Hokage's overclocking, and even though he's purple card, he's still dealing quite a bit of damage with nearly no ninjutsu attack from his debuffs. So I mean, that's cool. Um, yeah, see, 12,000, 120,000 worth of damage. So yeah, I have a healer, have DPS or such, so and so. Um, I think, yeah, it should be over. Keyword being should. Oh hey, I was wrong. They do still do damage to you if they have a even if they're shield. So sorry about that. But yeah, I'll get more into detail with that. Sorry. I think it was Luis. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Luis. I'm sorry, Luis. Hey, Tocayo. That means that we have both the same name. Uh, I sounded so douchey right there. So we're gonna do the Haku events Q&A. Cara, ¿cómo ves conseguir coloca a carta coloca a carta Zabuza e Haku? Ya intenté varias veces o dis esa función no está disponible. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna be speaking Spanish for a quick second for Rikudo sending. So yeah, I'm sorry if that bothers anybody. So Rikudo sending. Mira, lo que tienes que hacer es honestamente ve hacia acá y ves cómo tengo mis cartas aquí juntas con Zabuzai Haku. Lo que pasa es de que tú probablemente no tienes las cartas. Si es que no tienes las cartas que hacen esta carta, las cartas siendo estas dos, esta carta de aquí, am, siendo Haku y aquí está, Zabuza. Si es que no los tienes esas dos cartas al mismo tiempo aquí adentro, aquí, no vas a poder usar muy bien. Porque no va a tener ningún atributos. Estas cartas tiene el poder de estas dos cartas combinadas, las que te acabo de enseñar. La forma que puedes sacar esas dos cartas fácilmente es siendo el capítulo 2 y sacando para Zabuza los fragmentos de Zabuza aquí en Kato's End o el último de Kato en español si me acuerdo bien y los fragmentos de Haku en esta de aquí de batalla dura, creo que se dice en español. Disculpa si es que no entiendes, si es que no lo digo muy bien, pero una vez que tengas el correcto aumento de fragmentos vas a poder hacer una carta y poco a poco vas a poder entrenar las cartas hasta que sean oro. Y una vez que se haces en oro, te puedes hacerlo diamante. Pero apenas tengas solo las cartas azules de Zabuza y de Haku, puedes combinarlas y hacer esta carta. Ahora, admitiblemente no va a ser tan poderosa como mi carta, pero puedes trabajar hacia eso. Disculpa si es que no leí tu comentario muy bien, es que mi español es muy básico en ciertas formas. Lo puedo leer, pero usualmente con un poco de dificultad. Difu- difu- dificultad, creo que se dice, disculpa otra vez. Pero sí, me tomó un poco de tiempo para leerlo, pero espero que lo leí correctamente y espero que te pueda ayudar en esto. So back to English, I suppose. Zombie Hunter 3256. What is tenacity? So tenacity is basically just an attribute that you can get from cursed seals, such as the cursed seal of the sun and cursed seal of the forest, cursed seal of the leopard, and cursed seal of tenacity. Now, the cursed seal of tenacity is actually the most common one, being the green one. The blue one is the cursed seal of the leopard. The purple one being Cursed Seal of the Forest, and then finally the epic one, the highest tier of the Cursed Seals, being the Cursed Seal of the Sun. You get it from doing one click hunt, and what the tenacity does, it basically reduces damage from skill, from skill, from skill, from skill, from skill, from ninja skills, basically. So for example, say that Naruto does say 1 million worth of damage on your cards, but you have no tenacity, so Naruto will be dealing exactly 1 million worth of damage. Now, if you have maybe 500 or 600 tenacity, then instead of dealing 1 million worth of damage, Naruto will be dealing against your cards maybe 800k worth of damage, 700k worth of damage. Now, I will admit that that's not very comforting because most cards don't have a lot of HP. But you have to keep in mind that that's actually very, very useful, especially as you get higher up. I'm going to show you here. So me against Hokage, as you can see, we all have a very large amount of HP. I mean, uh, Itachi's actually dealing, I do believe, a couple of million worth of damage just with his passives, just with his unique skills. And look at how much damage Naruto does. I think it was 11 million right there. But the reason that I have well that my cards don't die instantly is because they have tenacity, they have dodge. But if you're the higher level you are, the more HP that your cards have, especially in the arena. So that's basically my point, honestly. I'm gonna let this finish. He might actually win, believe it or not, because my guy really is powerful. And unless you have a specific card designed to take down my guy, there's a very real possibility that you may lose him against my guy if you're not prepared. So, I mean, there's that, essentially. Shoot. And he gets shields, and as you just saw, he got like a 30 million, 31 million worth of shield. So I mean, yeah, it's annoying, but you really have to hope that you can take him down. Shoot. Yeah, like I said, as you see, he heals himself, and he healed himself about 2 or 3 million worth of damage that he took, and his stupid shields is just making it more and more annoying to take him down. There you go, finally. Sorry. So back to your question, that's what tenacity does. It reduces damage from enemy ninja skills. Uh, is it worth to? I have Tsukiyomi Sasuke's skill since I have spent 2k. Is it worth changing over the other two skills, Fake Darkness and Lightning Armor? Not really. And Tsukiyomi Sasuke is really an active skill, Izarith. It's not a passive skill, so I wouldn't recommend equipping Tsukiyomi to Sasuke. So Itachi Susanoo main with Tsukiyomi as second for him, or just stick with the three skills I have with him at the moment. Itachi Susanoo, Fake Darkness, Lightning Armor. You wait, this doesn't make sense. Izarith, can you explain a little more in this video, please? You're giving off the impression that you have a Itachi Susanoo, which is a level 90 Itachi. This is actually why Carlo Diaz is telling you to use Transcription Seal, which allows you to stun lock in the Ninja World War. But I've gotten the impression that you don't spend quite as much as I do in the game, so I doubt you're VAP 9. Um, if you can explain it moreover, but from what I can understand, you're saying Tsukiyomi Sasuke's skill. Is it worth changing over the other two skills? You seem to be under the impression that I seem to be under the impression that you seem to be under the impression that Tsukiyomi Sasuke is a passive. It's not a passive, it's an active skill. Now, if you're using it with Sasuke, it's decent, I suppose, especially if you're lower level, because it does stun cards for 3 rounds. The only problem that I don't particularly like with using any sort of actives on Sasuke is because it interrupts his unique skill output. Now, it seems as though you have the Susanoo for for Sasuke, I suppose. I'm either really reading this wrong or yeah, I'm sorry. Can you please just try to explain more? in more detail, I suppose, your question, because you're going off in a lot of different directions here. Yeah, sorry. Brian Monroe, the frame from Combo Card looks really nice. Yeah, it does. It really does look nice. I like how it looks. Um, Zombie Hunter 3256 can't do enough damage. I have Kuruma Susano. Really, the best way to do more damage is just to get um either Naruto's strongest father and son skill, or Sasuke's Indara arrow skill. Either or will see you doing a lot more damage. It just costs like 15k worth of gold. I mean, which is a lot, but just find a good event to spend that on and you'll be able to beat those dungeons fairly easily. What's the drop rate of Hinata from 10-3 in 1? Thanks, Stamina. Yeah, you won't get her. I really wouldn't recommend trying to do that. You can get a green card from doing this. Well, green card fragments from doing this dungeon, the Anastasia trial. Right here, the Anastasia trial. You do it and you have a chance to get 10 Hinata green card fragments, which is all you need to create one Hinata. And then after that, you can spend your time just cultivating Hinata and turning her into purple. But the drop rate for that purple card Hinata in the dungeon that you mentioned specifically, as far as I know, nobody's gotten it as a drop. So I mean, it must be very low or just non-existent as far as drop rates go. Let's see. We're gonna continue. Uh. Huh. Um. But did I forget to mention for Zombie Hunter? Zombie Hunter, I'll really try to help you out tomorrow. With my weaker team, basically. But yeah, Maddie's giving some really solid advice here. Um, um, the only thing that I really could recommend is to get Reoccurring Eye Obito. Because Reoccurring Eye Obito gets the Renengan Bloodline, and what the Renengan Bloodline is used for is for getting this active skill. Um, where is it? Where is it? I think I may have gone the wrong way to get it. There's active skill called Shida Tensei, and here I'll show you quickly. Get out, get out. And we're going to move all the way to... Where the hell is my Diva Path? My god, Diva Path is such a diva. But anyways, Shida Tensei. So you're going to just ignore his unique skill. But watch what the Shida Tensei does. We're going to go to chapter 22, which is the one you just said you had trouble with. So obviously he's going to get hit by all these guys. Hopefully he doesn't die. Planetary Devastation. Awesome. They're all stunned. But shoot, he doesn't have enough chakra recovery. Yeah, let's see. Where is it? Equip. Chakra recovery, your drop. Actually, I'll just show you with, chapter 21, because that seems like the easier bet. So, Planetary Devastation, and, what the Shida Tensei does, it's basically give you a guarantee stun for your enemy in front of you, and an 80% chance of stunning the enemies near the two random enemies after that. So I mean, it could be used to stun like a rather large team, for example, like the Almighty Push here. So you saw Animal Path and Human Path are stunned for essentially 2 rounds. And they'll take some damage. So yeah, that's basically what the Shira Tensei does. It does damage to the 2-3 cards. It 100% stuns 1 card and has a chance to stun the other 2 cards for 80%. So as you see, 3 cards were stunned. And you can equip that to Obito. The reason I didn't do it with my Obito right now is because I don't particularly want to change the bloodlines on my Obito. Is really the biggest reason. So sorry for being lazy. But yeah, the reoccurring Obito will really help you out, especially with stunning cards. Um, I answered Izarith's question. Sorry, zombie. I kind of just spazzed out, I suppose. Maddie, dude, you're like on point with like advice. Seriously, man, thanks. Samba Mamba, hey Luis, if you really want to take the advantage, yes, this is the guy who told me about that. Yeah. So Carlo Diaz, the way that you do that to equip the passive for Haku and Zabuza, just equip it to Haku, and any passive skill that's equipped to Haku or Zabuza will just be equipped to Haku and Zabuza combination card. You just go here and you can choose between the two. Same thing with the active skills, just choose between the two. So yeah, that's really how you do it, Carlo. Um, I have a question. What's the most good cards for his level 75 player? Funny enough, which is incredible in this game, I'll want to have him. Team 7 is very good, as Maddie said. Um, and Haku, yeah, he's a dude. Um, I think they call him traps, but yeah, he's a dude, just with like very effeminate features. But for a level 75 player, here's the thing though, like this, keep in mind, this right here, the player level, doesn't exactly reflect on your team. I mean, to a certain degree, it does affect you because Ninja Souls do help out a little bit, and Scrolls definitely help out a lot. But to a certain degree, they don't reflect your team. I think let's see, for example, um, could have sworn that they used to show the levels. Yeah, some people can have like a level 75 team and have like a 3 million or 10 million worth of CP combat team. But the best free to play is kind of what I'm getting from you here. Free to play cards for you would be Team 7, Obito, Kakashi, and Orochimaru, I suppose. So yeah, I'm sorry if I really couldn't answer that. How can you beat 16-6? That's I'm gonna make basically that video on it tomorrow. Can anyone help me? I'm trying to get my Zabuza and Haku to their purple cards, and I have other cards to do it, but I can't even if it says, even though I have them. Mega, what it looks like you're doing or is happening to you is basically check your formations. If I have the Deba path here, and I want to use that Deba path to train another Deba path, it won't let me train him because it's in a formation, therefore it's protected. Also make sure that your card isn't locked. That's usually one of the ways that it won't let you train it. And it'll say insufficient materials, even if you do have the cards. So yeah, just make sure that it's not in a formation and make sure that they're unlocked. Luis, can you explain to me fast, please, how to use a collection example if I have Ichiraku Uncle? I can get 67. Yeah, once you get Maddie, dude, once again on point. Um, once you have the required card at the required level, go into the collection, click the combination, and then click the bottom left. It should say something like open. It will look green. Just click it and it's activated. And if yes, you get the uncle. You get the 60 stamina per day through emails. As long, oh, you don't, Maddie, you don't have to refresh it, dude. Just leave it on and it'll give it to you every day until you turn it off. You don't have to go in and turn it off and then turn it back on. Just leave it on and it will give you the effect every day as long as it's open. Well, as long as it's active, basically. Goofy. What should I spend my 10k gold on this event, or should I save and get Father and Son Naruto, or should I even wait to see the... Yeah, save for Father and Son Naruto. Goofy, really. It's your best bet right now. Father and Son Naruto is extremely powerful. I'll actually... No, it's not gonna work. Hopefully this works, actually. So here's a Naruto, green card Naruto, keep in mind you. We're actually going to go ahead and equip all of that. And as you can see, he has 113k ninjutsu attack. We're going to equip the strongest father and son Naruto skill to him. And he has many ultra break inspiring so fierce. So keep in mind, this is level 1, green card, 113k ninjutsu attack. We're going to go ahead and just leave it that way because we're going to have him go up against Sakura. And look how much damage he can do. It's not a lot, but it is something. Here, this is probably a better example. Almighty Push. Hopefully they don't rape him. But let's see how this goes. I forgot about the cloning the shields. God damn it. Come on, and here we go. 217k worth of debuff damage. Keep in mind that's level 1, and he managed to beat it, by the way. Keep in mind that's a level 1 card with only 113k ninjutsu attack. Some of you may say that's a lot, that's way too much, but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't. So, yeah, that's that basically. That's just how powerful that card is. Level 1, green card, and you get, with only 113k ninjutsu attack, you get a 247k bonus, basically. Not bonus, but debuff. And that could seriously do damage to a lot of cards. Let's see. What else? Awesome, thanks for the showcase. I need help. How can I beat Itachi at Chapter 17? Fire Red, I will do that tomorrow. Trust me. And Maddie actually explains it here quite nicely. He says you need 2 sailors. Sailors. Sealers. Actually, I would still recommend my Reoccurring Eye Obito. By himself at Reoccurring Eye with his Space Time Kamui and his Space Time Kamui unique skill and his Shida Tensei active, he can quite easily solo what's his face? Itachi. So yeah, I mean, yeah. And you're welcome in advance as I see we replaying down where you have got this one, Lois. Luis, damn it. Thanks, Maddie. Seriously, dude. I appreciate that a lot. You're doing awesome. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's see, we got a new comment. Gonna go ahead and close this. Is Sasuke Susanoo passive good for war? Can you release unique skill in it? Yeah, it's not very good for War, the Susano passive. It's mostly for PvP, quite honestly. Especially with a lot of cards having the ability to stun and seal and twine. Susano just makes Sasuke invulnerable to it, and it's just really good for Sasuke, quite honestly. So I mean, for PvP, it's ideal, but for Ninja World War, yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting it on Sasuke, quite honestly, because you lose turns to take down, not to take down, but to release your unique skill. So yeah, that's really about it for this video. I'm sorry if it was rather lackluster and kind of long, but I had a lot of Q&A catching up to do. Maddie, you're an awesome dude. Thank you for essentially helping me out here, man. I appreciate you doing that, and thanks, dude. You're awesome. And so yeah, as fun as this has been, I'm really tired. You can probably hear it in my voice. And yeah, it's time to go to sleep. And holy fuck, I started at 2:17 a.m. and it's now 3:47. An hour and a half. I'm sorry, guys. I was gonna say leave a like if you liked it, but fuck it. If you stayed stuck around here long enough, thanks is honestly I can give you. You don't have to leave a like. You don't have to. Well, if you want to leave a dislike, you don't have to leave a like. Just thanks for watching and sticking around this long. So I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video on that other account, my other Virgil Server 11, and hopefully I can answer a lot of questions on how to take down the chapters. So yeah, that's about it, and you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.